Hook 000. You sent your spit in a tube, sealed it, dropped it in a mailbox. A few weeks later, a company mailed back the secrets hidden inside your cells, where your ancestors lived, what diseases might be waiting for you, who your distant relatives are. You trusted them with the most intimate data that exists. Data you can never change. Data that will outlive you. That data is now somewhere on the dark web. And the company that promised to protect it, it just filed for bankruptcy. This is 23andMe. A $6 billion empire built on a single question. Do you want to know who you really are? They just didn't tell you what it would cost. Opcomst 030. The year is 2006. Silicon Valley is drunk on disruption. A woman named Anne Wojcicki co-founds a genomic startup in Mountain View, California, with a belief that sounds almost naive. People deserve to understand their own biology. That medicine shouldn't be a mystery handed down by doctors, and it should be personal, predictive, and in your hands. Wojcicki isn't nobody. She's married to Sergey Brin, the co-founder of Google. That connection unlocks doors most founders never get close to. Google invests $3.9 million in the early rounds. The press shows up. The credibility is instant. The product is deceptively simple. You order a kit online, you spit into a plastic tube, a full 2 milliliters, which is more than you'd expect. You seal it, activate it online, and drop it in a mailbox. A few weeks later, you get a digital report. Your ancestry composition, carrier status, health predispositions, DNA relatives. A map of you drawn from your own cells. It's intimate, it's personal, and for millions of people it's addictive. You discover you're 3% Ashkenazi Jewish. You find a half-sibling you never knew existed. You learn you carry a gene variant linked to Parkinson's. These aren't just data points, they're identity. Time magazine names it Invention of the Year in 2008. The FDA gets nervous in 2013 and halts the health reporting. The agency argues 23andMe is providing medical diagnoses without clinical oversight. Wojcicki doesn't fold. She negotiates, revamps the product, gets FDA clearance, and comes back stronger. The regulatory friction becomes proof she can survive in a serious industry. But here's what most customers don't fully grasp at the time. The spit kit is not the product. You are. The real asset is what happens when millions of people hand over their genetic profiles and consent, often in fine print, to having that data used for research. You get a database unlike anything in human history, deep, consented, linked to health conditions, family trees, and self-reported medical histories. Drug companies would pay a fortune for access to something like that. In 2018, GlaxoSmithKline does exactly that, $300 million for a 4-year collaboration and a stake in the company. The deal isn't about selling spit kits, it's about selling insights extracted from the collective genome of millions of customers. Wojcicki calls it the future of medicine. She's probably right about the science, but the future has a price, and someone else is going to pay it. Hug to punt. 3:30, 2021. 23andMe goes public via a SPAC merger, peak valuation $6 billion, 15 million customers, a drug development pipeline, pharmaceutical partnerships, a portfolio of FDA-cleared health reports. Wojcicki is on magazine covers, on TED stages. She paints a world where medicine is predictive, not reactive, where your doctor knows what's coming before you feel a symptom, where cancer is caught at stage 0, where the right drug is matched to your genome on day 1. It sounds like science fiction. 23andMe is supposed to make it real. The flywheel logic is elegant. More customers means more data. More data means better research. Better research means more partnerships. More partnerships mean more capital. More capital means more marketing, which means more customers. The loop never stops feeding itself. On paper, this is a machine, a perpetual motion engine running on human curiosity about where we come from and fear about what might kill us. Investors believe it, analysts model it, the stock climbs. And somewhere in the architecture of this brilliant, noble-sounding company, there is a vulnerability that nobody is talking about loudly enough. When your entire business is built on trust, when the product is intimacy itself, you only get one chance to keep it. Val 6:30. October 2023. A hacker posts on a dark web forum. The payload, approximately 7 million 23andMe user profiles, names, birth dates, locations, ancestry results, health predispositions, family connections across multiple generations, the largest DNA data breach in history. And it didn't require breaking any encryption. The method was credential stuffing. Hackers took usernames and passwords stolen from other breached websites and tried them on 23andMe accounts. Because millions of people reuse passwords, it worked. Once inside a single account, the DNA relatives feature, the one designed to help you find distant cousins, allowed automated scrapers to harvest data on entire family networks. One compromised account could expose dozens of people who never even knew they were at risk. 23andMe's initial response is catastrophic in its tone. A spokesperson suggests users should have used stronger passwords, that customers bear some responsibility for their own exposure. You can imagine how that lands. The lawsuits arrive by the thousands. Eventually, 23andMe settles a class action for $30 million, but no settlement can undo the breach. You can reset a password, you cannot reset your genome. That data is out there, permanently, forever. For people who were never hacked, who did everything right, their information was exposed because someone else reused a password. The stock, already fading after the SPAC hype evaporated, begins its final collapse, from a peak near $400 per share down to single digits, then fractions. Then, by late 2024, Songton 25, a company once valued at $6 billion, is now worth less than a bus fare. In June 2024, all 7 independent board members resign on the same day. Their letter cites strategic disagreements with Wojcicki. The real message is simpler. They see what's coming and they're not staying to watch it arrive. March 2025, Chapter 11, Bankruptcy. Wojcicki steps down as CEO not out of defeat but strategy. You cannot bid to buy a company you still control. So she exits the seat, positions herself as an independent bidder, and gets ready to buy back what she built. 28 American states file legal briefs in response. Their collective argument is stark. Genetic data is not a normal asset. It cannot be auctioned off in bankruptcy court like office furniture or trademarks. These are biological profiles of real people, people who trusted the company, people who cannot unconsent, people who never imagined their DNA would become a line item in a creditor dispute. July 2025. Wojcicki wins the auction. Through her non-profit TTAM Research Institute, she buys 23andMe back for $305 million. She says the data will be protected. She says the mission continues. What actually happens to the genetic information of 15 million people? That question is still open. LES 9:30. Let's be direct about what happened here. 23andMe didn't fail because of bad luck or one rogue hacker. It failed because the business model contained a contradiction it could never resolve. You cannot promise to protect someone's most intimate data and simultaneously build a company whose entire upside depends on monetizing that data. Those two things are in permanent tension, and when they collide, as they always do, it's the customer who pays the price. Wojcicki had a vision that was real, she believed, in the science. But somewhere between the mission and the cap table, the customer became the raw material. And nobody was honest enough with investors, with regulators, or with customers about the trade-offs embedded in that deal. The lesson is not, don't build biotech startups. The lesson is this: when trust is your moat, there is no fallback. You protect it absolutely, or you lose everything. And in genomics, everything means something that can never be taken back. CTA 10. Every empire leaves a lesson behind. 23andMe's is simple and brutal. In the data economy, trust is not a value, it's the only product. The moment you treat it as a trade-off, you've already lost. If this story made you think, subscribe. Every week on Empires and Ashes, we follow the money, the power, and the moment it all comes apart. The next story's already built. You're going to want to be here for it.